Hello, class. I've been playing around with Storify, just trying to find better ways for us to do our tweet chat next week. I asked all of you to critique your participation, and so it was only fair that I critique my own participation. And one of my concerns was, in some of the feedback that you guys have given me, is that when you come in the middle of the day to tweet, it's difficult to make your way through the tweet stream. And I think what you have concluded and what I have also concluded is that the initial responses to the questions need to be done early in the day. There are some of you who say that you can't tweet doing work. Well, I think since the tweets are posted like at 12:01 in the morning, you may have to get up a half hour early uh, in the mornings and just uh, at least make an initial foray into responding to the questions. So that was one of the comments that you've given to me, and that I had sort of come to as a conclusion as well. Now, you didn't say you would do it 30 minutes before you went to work. That's just my suggestion if you can't tweet during work. Um, but what I've been doing is I've been fooling around with Storify, and I've created two stories recently. We're doing these tweet chats in AIL 601, and we're also doing them in this class. And so what I want to do now is show you this story file that I did for AIL 601, and then show you a story file that I did for AIL 604 that I think gives us a way to manage our tweet chats, or to manage our participation in tweet chats. And I want you to tell me if I'm violating some method of interacting on Twitter by introducing this procedure. It seems like it's going to work, but anyway, just let me know what you think. Okay, the AIL 601 class had to create e-posters. And there are 9 students in the class. And because they had been tweeting back and forth, sharing resources, and talking about things that they had found, I became concerned that when it came time for them to post their assignments, that everybody wouldn't find all 9 assignments. So what I did is I created this Storify, and I hate to say I created a Storify because all I did is pull in the 9 tweets. So Jackie U is one student. There is her e-poster. Warrior Tweeting is one student, and I told them they could make up their names. Corey is a student. Laura, so the whole 9 students, their tweets are listed here. What I didn't, and I don't know if I didn't think about this, but when I came back later to look at this story file, I noticed this. If you look at Jackie's tweet, it says that she has 5 comments. If you look at Warrior of Tweeting, they have 9 comments. Corey has 7 comments. Laura No More has 4 comments. Daphne has 5 comments, and so forth. And so this is the way I hope that those replies would work. So let's look at what those messages look like under this post. Let's click on Jackie's just because she's at the top of the list. So here's Jackie's post tweet. I keep calling them posts. Here's her tweet for her e-poster. And the first person to reply to her is Stacy. And Stacy doesn't reply with 140 characters. Instead, she replies with an image that she created that allows her to put in more than 140 characters. Tegan doesn't respond to Jackie. She responds to Stacy, saying that it's a clever way to work around the character limit. Maybe she'll try it in the future. And then Jess responds to Tegan and says, "Thank you." Now Tegan makes her comment on Jackie's e-poster, and her response went over 2 posts, 2 tweets, and the same with Lord No More, Lori No More, Lord No More, and so, but there are 9 students in the class. See what this happens because it looks like I opened something. I didn't want to open anything. Ooh, see, I just opened up her. I don't want to do that either. Let's get out of there. I'm back to Jackie's tweet stream. If you click on somebody's name, you can easily end up on another page. But we're just looking at her stream. Now, when I see that she has 5 comments, you'll notice that doesn't mean 5 people, because some people have multiple comments. But I know that there are more students in the class than have posted on Jackie's assignment. So what I don't know is if those people have posted, but they didn't use the reply function, so it wouldn't show up this way, or if they have until I think Monday to post their replies. So maybe they just haven't done it yet. But I think what this suggests to me is that if we use the reply feature or function to respond to the questions and to respond to other people who have responded to the questions, it may give us a way to put our messages together. Now, even as I say that, I wonder if I'm violating some Twitter community rule. And so, if anybody has any thoughts on that, let me know. I'm willing to talk to you about it. But I think if we all try reply, this might actually help us. If we all post early in the day, our initial post, and then just come back during the day, and you don't have to stay for like a half hour. You can stay for a few minutes and sort of respond. And that's what I was looking for from Twitter. And that you would be able to not have to devote a lot of time to it at one time. One of the students in AIL601 has said that she can't use Twitter at her school. So we don't do one-day Twitter chats in that class. We either do 2 or 3-day chats. I can't remember which one now we agreed on. And we haven't done one yet, so we'll have to see how it goes. Okay? So, now after I did that e-poster for AIL601, I said, let's try to do this for what? AIL604. So I created a Storify that has just the 6 questions that I asked. Okay? And what you'll see is here's question 1. And it says it has 3 comments. If I click on it, what I'll see is Sherelle responded. And it looks like Sherelle responded with a tweet that she had put somewhere else. I don't quite know what she did, but anyway, maybe she'll tell us. And Sherelle took the approach that the other students took, the other student in AIL 601 took by creating this image. You know, I'm not asking you to go over 140 characters. If you need to do it sometimes, I don't think I'll be pressed by it. But it's okay with me if you do it by multiple tweets or if you do this. What I don't want you to do is to try to write a whole book in order to respond to the question. I find, at least for myself, that trying to make myself stay in the 140 characters really makes me focus my answer. So typically I'll write out my answer, it'll go over 140, and I'll have to figure out which words am I going to get rid of. And usually it's words like I think, or just so you know, or those kind of things. And so anyway, that's just me. So now here's Carla. Carla is replying to the question post, and she used that A1. So anytime you saw that tweet in the stream, you'll know that it was in response to A1. But she also used reply, which is why it shows up here. And this reply here suggests that somebody responded to Carla. So that must have been Crystal. And it looks like somebody responded to Crystal, and that was Carolina. And so we know it was Crystal because Carolina used a name. And so here's Sloan. She's replying to the original question. And that's all we have. So it looks like 3 people responded to this question, maybe 4, because Crystal's response actually addresses the question itself. So, but there are 9 people in the class, and I can tell you more than 3 people, and it says 3. Let's see, 1. I don't know. I got to go back and check how it counts. I don't know how it counts. But I know more than 3 people responded to this. So what that suggests is that people responded, but they didn't use reply. They may have used tweet, retweet, or they may have just created a whole new tweet and included the hashtag. But I think I want to suggest that we try using the reply function and including our hashtag in the reply function. Okay? So that's the first one. What I want to do now is to look at question 6. And the reason I want to do that is because I learned something when I looked at question 6. If you look at question 6, it says there are 6 comments. Now, when I did my video the other day, I said that Carla was the only one who replied to this. Obviously, I was wrong. So let's look at this one. We have, wrong question. Oops, sorry. That's question 5. Ooh, wrong page. I want question 6. This is the major question. Actually, it says there are 8 responses. So let's just see what this is. So here we go. That's the question about the major book. Here's Carla's response, and this is the one that I remember. Again, she uses that A6 identifier so that if you saw this question in the Twitter stream without it being embedded under the question the way it is here, you would still know that it was associated with this particular question. So she did reply. She included the answer tag so she could associate her answer with the actual tweet. And she used that ellipsis to let you know that hers was going to span 2 tweets. People do that different ways. Some people will say one of how many it's going to be. Some people will use continued. So I don't care how you do it. If there's a Twitter rule, somebody needs to let me know. Okay. And then here's Vaisha. Oops. I hate I did that. Sorry. See if I can go back. Okay. So now she doesn't respond back to the question. She responds to Carla's response. And she's jumping on Carla's comment about feedback. And so she's interacting with Carla by making this comment, and she's adding some more to it. So Carla mentioned feedback, and then Vasha, oh Lord, I'm messing up your name. I apologize. Said, let's look at the timing of feedback, which is a good way to use your 140 characters. Carolina replies directly to the question post. Now, this particular one here has nothing to do with the answer, but that's fine. Because her next one does. Let me see. Her next one does. And the person that she liked best in the book was this person. Okay? And it spanned 3 tweets. And then Sherelle did hers. And then Crystal did hers. Now, if I had done a hashtag search, the hashtag search would have had the times that these posts were made. If I am not mistaken, all these posts were made after 7 o'clock. And the last time I looked was at 7 o'clock, which is why I did not see them. And why I thought that no one had answered this question other than Carla. That just suggests to us, it suggests 2 things to me. Once again, those of you who have already given me your feedback, we do need to post earlier in the day, at least our initial answers to the questions. And it also says to me that I can't draw conclusions until that 12 o'clock when everybody has posted their tweets. Okay. Anyway, so what else do I think I'm going to change? So as we agreed, I will continue to schedule the questions to post around 12:01 a.m. on the Monday that we're going to have our discussions. After I post the questions, what I will do is I will create a Storify that has all the questions in it, and I will tweet the Storify. It allows me to do that. I will tweet the Storify using the AIL601 hashtag. That way, after you respond to all of them, if you come back later in the day and you find yourself getting lost in all the tweets, you can come to this page and you can click on the tweet and see all the comments that have been made to that tweet. And at the end of the week, at the end of our discussion day, we can talk about what this meant. If this was easier, if it wasn't easier, if I destroyed some Twitter community mechanism. But I'm thinking that this might work for a slow chat. What I don't want to do, though, is turn it into a discussion board. That's why I like sort of limiting the number of characters. Once again, what Sherelle did was fine. I just don't want it to get too long, and I don't want you to do it for every answer, because there's something about being precise. Like I said, it forced me to sort of be precise in what I was thinking. It's easy also to use a few words and not be clear, which caused me to ask a lot of questions. I think um, Vaisha was talking about something, and she said, and simplicity. And I was like, I don't know what she means by simplicity. So my question was, what do you mean by simplicity? And I think it was Michelle responded and said, well, when I read it, I thought she meant this. But then when Vaisha wrote back, what she meant was easy navigation. So sometimes, so instead of saying simplicity, it might have been better to say if it's easier to navigate or simple to navigate. And once again, maybe she didn't have the characters left. But that kind of clarity helps in the 140 characters. So let's try to do that. Let's try to post our initial responses early in the day. We can interact with each other throughout the day, and then we'll see how that works. And we'll use reply. We'll use our hashtag, and like Carla did, we can also use the A1 or the A2 to signify which answer the question is to in case people encounter it in the Twitter stream. Now, if you do the reply, you really don't have to do that because it's going to show up in the post itself, but you are welcome to do it. And if anybody has strong opinions on whether we should or should not include that, just let me know and we can make that adjustment. I will, when I create the Storify, no, that's it. I will let you know if in your comments there are any other ideas for how we can do better in this particular tweet chat, in our next tweet chat. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to tweeting with you in the future.